Well, hello YouTube, Eugene here with a review on the Uchu Sentai Kyuranger Super Complete Works book. Yes, friends. Well, friends, Kyuranger is the 41st Sentai of the series that aired in 2017 to 2018 with 48 fantastic episodes and 3 movies. Uchu Sentai Kyuranger the movie, The Gant Indaver's Counterattack, Uchu Sentai Kyuranger episode of Stinger, and Uchu Sentai Kyuranger vs. Space Squad. And so, friends, this book is 100 pages long of Kyuranger Gintama fun, and it's a nice and glossy and in color pages. This book was released at the beginning of August 2018 after the last Kyuranger movie was filmed for the series. And so now we'll go ahead and take a look at the front cover. As you can see, we've got a nice shot of Shishi Red here in the front, pretty much in the cockpit of Shishi Voyager. The logo of Uchu Sentai Kyuranger right here, and the name of the book here, and Super Sentai. And so now, friends, let's go ahead and get to the heart of this book. So let's do it. So getting to the heart of this book, it will start by taking a look at page 2 here. And as you can see, it's got the table of contents here and the faces of the 12 Kyurangers, including Shishi Red Orion. And as you can see, the colors are beautiful in this book. And I will also apologize in advance. I apologize for that glare coming from my light. It's mainly from my fan light, so I apologize for that. But anyway, on page 3, got a nice shot of all 12 Kyurangers in their civilian forms, and got a nice shot of the Shishi Kyutama right here, and the logo of Uchu Sentai Kyuranger. And of course, right on the top above the picture of the 12 Kyurangers in their civilian forms, got a nice little image here of, you know, pretty much like the Kyurangers in the galaxy or something. But anyway, so continue on next page, page 4 and 5, we got a very nice shot of all Kyurangers in their Ranger forms. And then right here, once again, we got the Shishi Kyutama again. And right here, there is the Q buckle, which is pretty much a little storage gimmick for the gimmick of the series, which is the Kyutama. And on the bottom here is the Caesar Blaster, which is the transformation device of the non-Kyurangers, as well as Koguma Sky Blue. So next page, page 6, pretty much shows the weapon and changer to RyuCommander. And then on the bottom here, pretty much shows the weapon and changer to Houou Soldier. Next page, page 7, pretty much shows us the 10 Kyurangers weapons, and pretty much they change into 9 different modes here, which is called Q the Weapon. And so pretty much it changes to a sword, spear, claw, crossbow, axe, sickle, rapier, shot, and slasher. And so pretty much it's showing us what they all look like: the sword, you know, the spear, and so on. And then here at the bottom there is the Qlet. It was more like a roulette game to where it would pick 5 members to do a mission. So that's pretty much how that works. So here we go with the Senshis of this series here, friends. And so this is like one of my favorite parts of these books. And so pretty much it just shows you a nice shot of the character in the civilian form to Ranger form and so on. And so here is Lucky, and he is known as Shishi Red. And then here is his Voyager, also known as Shishi Voyager. Now I do want to go back here, but here's a helmetless shot of him, you know, in his suit, which is really cool there. So anyway, continuing on, here is Stinger, and as you can see, he does have a helmetless shot as well. But Stinger is known as Sasori Orange, and his Voyager is known as Sasori Voyager. And so next, here we go with, here is Garu, and he is known as Akami Blue. And there's his Voyager, also known as Akami Voyager, and he doesn't have a helmetless shot of himself. And so here we go with good old Balance, and he is known as Timbin Gold. And then here is his Voyager, also known as Timbin Voyager. Next page, here is Champ, and he is known as Oshi Black. And his Voyager is known as Oshi Voyager. Next page, here is good old Naga Ray, and he is known as Hibisky Silver. And then his Voyager is also known as Hibisky Voyager. Next page. Here is good old Hami, and she is known as Chameleon Green. And then there's her Voyager, known as Chameleon Voyager. Next page. Here is good old Raptor 283. Here she is right here, and she also got a helmetless shot of her. And she is also known as Washi Pink. And then there's her Voyager, also known as Washi Voyager. And so, next page, here is good old Spada. And you can see there's his helmetless shot as well. But he is known as Kajiki Yellow. And then here's his Voyager, also known as Kajiki Voyager. So continuing on, and pretty much just wanted to mention that the whole purpose to this section here in this book of, you know, showing off the senshis of the series is just pretty much giving us little brief background checks on what happened to each character in the series. And so anyway, here we go. Here is good old Shouropu, and he is known as RyuCommander. And here's his Voyager, also known as Voyager. And so continue on here. Here is good old Kotaro Sakuma, and he is known as Koguma Sky Blue. And then here's his Voyager right here. Here is Kuma Voyager, and then here is Ogama Voyager and Koguma Voyager. And so next page, here is Otori Tsurugi, and he is known as Houou Soldier. And then here is the Houou Voyager. And so anyway, next page, page 32. Here is a nice shot of Shishi Red Orion. And pretty much it's an upgrade for Shishi Red. So, you know, Shishi Red being a red senshi, it changed him into a white senshi here. So which is really neat here. You can see it's got Lucky in like a nice helmetless shot here. And, you know, the thing with the whole Psycho Kitama. So next page, page 33, pretty much focuses on Caesar, which is Lucky's pet. And then here's a big version of Caesar, which named him the Kojishi Voyager. And then here's the other formation it does with the other Voyagers, such as Shishi Voyager to become Super Shishi Voyager. And then here is good old Orion, pretty much a brief description and pretty much what happened to him in the series here. And he's pretty much the reason why Shishi Red Orion exists. So, next page, page 34. Here is the Orion Go, which is the headquarters to the Kyurangers, pretty much a storage unit for the Voyagers. So here is the inside of the headquarters, and you can see old Raptor right there. And on the next page, page 35, here is the Battle Orion ship, as well as the Orion Voyager. So next page, page 35, here 36, excuse me, pretty much focuses on the power-up Kyutama forms for the Kyurangers, like pretty much for Shishi Red and then Chameleon Green and then Hibiscus Silver, the very unique power-up forms pretty much. And then we got a nice shot of the 12 Kyurangers and then performing their final attacks. Page 37, here are the allies that appeared in the show, such as Big Bear himself. He is the reason why Kotaro became Koguma Sky Blue. And then here is Kotaro's little brother and his mom as well. So really cool. Like I said, pretty much just giving us a brief description pretty much in Japanese, you know, on what happened to these characters in the show. So that's pretty much how this works here. So on page 38 through 43 shows us all the Kyutamas that appeared in the show here. And I think this is very unique here. And it's pretty much a list of all the Kyutamas they had in the show, giving us a brief description on what they do. Like for instance, all these Kyutamas right here are for the Kyurangers here. So they're the change Kyutamas. And so the other ones are all attack Kyutamas, you know, giving them different other powers or different techniques and so on. So, you know, just giving us a little description of what they do in the show pretty much. Like this one here too, the Pegasus Kyutama, giving that little power up. And so on the next page, More Kitamas here, you know, giving us a list of them and everything. Now, the one thing I did notice here, right here, this Kitama is pretty much, it's a blank with a question mark on it. So I reckon it means this Kitama never made it in the show. So pretty much the majority of the Kitamas here in this list here, some of them probably never made an appearance. That's why they got the question mark and the blank there. Who knows? And so next page, continue on here. And you can see there the question mark Kitamas and so on. And then here's the Psycho Kitama, as well the empty version of the Kitama, and so on. So next page, page 44, here we go with the mechas here. And so here is Kyureno, and this is his default form, pretty much a combo Kajiki, Chameleon, Ushi, and Akami, and Shishi to become this one here. And of course, he does have swappable limbs with other Voyagers. And so down here on the bottom of page 44 shows the different forms, or the different modes rather. And on the next page, showing us the cockpit and everything else here with other Voyagers here. And then more other forms with the swappable limbs of the arms and the legs for Kyureno. So pretty much just keeping the name Kyureno and adding in the name of whoever they swap the limbs with. So, and so next page, page 46, here is RyuCommander's mecha, and he is known as Ryuteo, and this is his default form, pretty much having Kuma Voyager, Sasori Voyager, and Ryu Voyager combined together to become this mecha here. And then there's his swappable arms with other Voyagers, so he can pretty much do just the arm swappables, and that's pretty much it. And so anyway. So on page 47, here is Ryutei Kyureno, and it's pretty much Kyureno and Ryuteo to become this mecha here. And pretty much giving us the number formations here of the Voyagers here. On the bottom here is Gigant Houou, which is Houou Soldier's mecha. And so on the next page, here is Kyutama Jin. It's pretty much Shishi Voyager, Gigant Houou, Houou Base, and the Kyurangers Kyutama to become this mighty mecha here. So it's all 12 Kyurangers in this one big mecha here. And then right here, here is the Orion Battler, pretty much the mecha form for the Battle Orion ship. And then on the next page, page 49, here is Super Kyureno. It's pretty much Kujishi Voyager and Kyureno to become this mighty mecha, just adding Super into the mix here. And so on the bottom here is Caraberis. It's pretty much the movie mecha for Kyurangers. So really cool mechas. I do dig the mechas in this series and so on here. And I do like how in these books here they give us the descriptions here of what these mechas do, the formations and so on. And the images here are just, like I said earlier, are downright gorgeous in this book here. So here we go with another one of my favorite parts of these Shogakukan and Super Complete Works books. Pretty much the images and episodes of Kyuranger. And in the series of Kyuranger, they never did episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. They pretty much did it as Space 1, Space 2, and Space 3, and so on. So anyway, on page 50, right here, this is just little mini episodes they talk about here that premiered after the actual episode. And just giving us like the origin of each Kyuranger, pretty much how their transformation works with the Seiza Blaster by placing a Kyutama Seiza Blaster and shouting Star Change and so on. So that's pretty much how it all works. But anyway, here is Space 1. And then on the next page, page 51, focuses on Space 2 and Space 3. And so I'm going to go ahead and kind of skip a little more here. But on page 54, pretty much focuses on Space 7 and Space 8. And then on page 55, pretty much focuses on Space 9 and Space 10. And so anyway, on the next page, page 56, pretty much focuses on Space 11 and Space 12. And as you can see, it's a nice shot of the 11 Kyurangers. Well, 11 at the moment, prior to this episode here. And so anyway, on page 60, we'll go all the way to 60 now. pretty much focuses on Space 18 and Space 19. And then on page 61, focuses on Space 20 and Space 21. You can see this is the debut of Houou Soldier. And then on page 62, pretty much focuses on Space 22, Space 23, and Space 24. And then on page 63, focuses on Space 25. And then right here, here's a very nice shot of the 12 Kyurangers. A very nice shot of all 12 together like that. And so on page 66, pretty much focuses on Space 29 and Space 30, which is the debut episode of Shishired Orion. And so anyway, on page 72, pretty much focuses on Space 39 and Space 40. And then on page 73, pretty much focuses on Space 41 and Space 42. And so, anyway, on page 74, focuses on Space 43 and Space 44. And you can see at the bottom right here on page 75 shows us the Christmas episode here. And of course, 75 focuses on Space 45 and Space 46. And on page 46, pretty much focuses on Space 47 and Space Final, which really could have been Space 48. And on page 47, pretty much shows us the opening theme and the ending theme of Kyuranger. And then right here at the bottom here, just pretty much images from the final episode of Kyuranger. So now we are focusing on the movies now, friends. And so anyway, on page 78 and 79 focuses on the Uchu Sentai Kyuranger, the movie The Gathering Indaver's Counterattack. And so it was that summer movie. And so on page 80 and 81 focuses on Uchu Sentai Kyuranger episode of Stinger. So this was an episode that only focused on Stinger, which was a good movie, by the way. And so on page 82, 83, 84, and 85 focuses on the Uchu Sentai Kyuranger versus Space Squad. And of course, in this movie, we did have some past Sentai villains come back. And so here are the villains that came back. As you can see, nice and detailed in the pictures and everything. Really, really nice. And so continue on here. And so on page 86, we are now on the villains of this series. And they are known as Jark Matter. Or Matter, excuse me. And so here is the main guy, head of Jark Matter, and he is known as Don Armage, and pretty much in different forms here. And you can see right here at the bottom there is Dr. Anton, and he's the one that created Champ. And so on the next page, here is Scorpio. He is Stinger's brother, and he went to the dark side. He was hungry for power and everything. And then here is Anton Zero. So continue on with the villains of the series. And so on page 88, here are the Vice Shoguns. And I have their names, but I'm going to put their names in my text because they're kind of hard for me to pronounce. As well as these down here. But I do know that this one right here is this one's right-hand man. So I will put that in the text. So keep an eye out for the text too, all during this review. So, and then on page 89, we pretty much here is Ikaren, and he's the one that killed Big Bear. And then here is Madako, and then Mecha Madako. And then I don't know this one's name, so I'm going to just put the name in the annotation, and not annotations, in my text. And then here is the Death Worm. Yeah, I called him a Death Worm, and that's his actual name. So on page 90, pretty much just, you know, more Jark Matter generals and monsters, pretty much, of the series of Kyuranger here. Same thing on 91. We're pretty much seeing just generals and so on here. And so, anyway, next page, page 92, here's more generals and so on. Now, these guys here are little henchmen right here for the Jark Matter, and they're pretty much called the Indaver. And there are different color versions of them also, but anyway. And then here's more on you know, pretty much the generals and the monsters of Jark Matter. So that's pretty much all on the villains of the series. So skipping all the way to page 97, friends, and here's another one of my favorite parts in this book. I mean, this is like my third favorite part out of this book here. But pretty much episode lists, date, episode airings, and everything, starting and finishing dates of the series. So right here, I'm going to get a little close up, but here is the starting and finishing date of Kyuranger. Then there is Space 1, which aired on February 12th, 2017. And I'm going to go ahead and go up a little faster here to get to Space Final, which aired on February 4th, 2018. And of course, you know, just showing us little DVD covers and everything from, you know, when the DVD would actually be released and so on. And the name of the episode and so on. Which is really cool here too. And here are all the TV Blu-ray collection 1 through 4 as well. So on page 98 pretty much gives us the dates when the movies were released, and pretty much the DVD covers as well. So, you know, like you can see, this one here is definitely for the episode of Stinger movie, and pretty much just various ones. Like here's a one for Space Squad and everything, and here's all the release dates here at the top here, a whole bunch of kanji here. And so on page 99, pretty much here's a nice shot of the 12 Kyurangers, and pretty much wrapping up the Kyutama dancing song, which is the ending theme to Kyuranger. And then we're seeing more nice images here of the I think pretty much of the non-Kyurangers at first when the series started, and then, you know, them doing their dancing, and then the summer festival one, and then you can see the earth in the background, which is beautiful here too. And then right here is the release date of this book, and pretty much it was August the 8th, 2018, and pretty much it came out shortly after the Kyuranger vs. Space Squad movie was filmed. And so here is the back of the cover here, with friends, which is really, really nice. Has all 12 Kyurangers in their civilian forms, and here they are in their Ranger forms as well, along with their constellations, which is a very clever idea here. So anyway, friends, well, that is it for this book. So now let's go ahead and conclude this review. Well, friends, my final thoughts on this book. Well, I pretty much gave you all my input, all generous how I feel about this book. But I will say this, I 100% highly recommend this book. I mean, the colors are outstanding in this book. And the whole purpose, I know I must have said this in a whole bunch of Shogakukan Super Complete Works book reviews, but the whole purpose to this book is pretty much a yearbook of the series, and pretty much you can figure out, you know, a particular episode, like a debut episode of a certain member, or a death of a certain character. That's pretty much the whole purpose to these books here. And so, and there's no really any errors in these books. There's no errors whatsoever in these books. I mean, the colors, like I said, are outstanding. And, you know, if you are a die-hard Kyuranger fan, go pick this up and have this in your collection if you're just a big fan of hearing Yoshalaki in just about every episode. So, and one other thing I do kind of wish that they had in this book, I kind of wish they had a picture of, you know, pretty much Shishi Red, Lupin Red, and Pat Red and Ichigo doing the passing the torch. That would have been cool, but it is what it is, because I didn't even see no image with Lupin Red and Pat Red and Ichigo with Shishi Red. I didn't see any of that, but that was wishful thinking on my part. So, again, if you want this book, to go pick this up. I'm sure Mandrake has a few, and I'm hoping one day that eBay will have a few pop up every now and then. So all I can say is now, friends, is good luck and happy hunting, because this is a very nice book, and so please do not pass it up. And so anyway, friends, that's it for this review. Please check out my blog, follow me on Twitter, and to like my Facebook, and make sure, friends, you hit that bell icon if you want to upload a new video. And of course, my friends, this review on the Uchu Sentai Kyuranger Super Complete Works book. I hope you enjoy. Well, friends, I'm Eugene. I'm signing out, and have a good day. And my friends, I most assuredly see you next time. Bye.